Okay, so now we want to review multiplying and dividing side numbers. Well, compared to adding and subtracting, it's actually a whole lot easier. In fact, all we have to remember is this chart. A positive number times a positive number is positive. A positive number times a negative number is negative. A negative number times a positive number is negative. And a negative number times a negative number is positive. Okay. As long as we remember that, we're going to be in good shape. And that's the main idea for, otherwise, when you multiply and divide, all we're going to do is just multiply or divide. And then the sign chart here helps us give the answer the right side. So let's jump into some examples here. First we have negative 8 times negative 4. So first we just multiply 8 and 4 to be 32. Because we have two negatives involved, the answer is a positive 32. Positive 32. Here I have a multiplication problem involving fractions. So remember, when we multiply fractions, we would look to simplify. In this case, nothing cancels out. Nothing cancels out from the top or bottom. So we would just multiply across the top, and because we have just the one negative sign involved, the answer will be negative. So 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. We keep the negative sign. We keep the negative sign. Same idea works if we have decimals. We're just going to begin by multiplying our two decimals. So 4.7 times 0.24. Now, because the problem had one negative sign involved in it, when we get our answer, it will be negative. But for now, we just multiply. So we would go through 4 times 7 is 28. We carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Okay, at that point I'm crossing out the 2 so I don't accidentally use it later. And then we move over to the 2. Bring down to 0. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then we add our results. 8 and 0 is 8. 8 and 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 1, 9, and 1 is 11. And then remember, because we had 3 decimal places involved in the multiplication problem, we have 3 decimal places in our answer. And then last thing, our answer needs to be negative because we had just one negative involved. Let's consider this division problem here, and this division problem has an additional direction to it. We're going to take 4.9 divided by negative 0.6, but we want to round our answer to 2 places. Round our answer to 2 places. That means when we do the long division, we're going to need to carry the division out to 3 places so we know the next place so that we can round. So remember, the first thing we need to do when dividing by a decimal is move the decimal point so that it's not a decimal we're dividing by. In this case, we need to move it 1 place, so we move it 1 place on the 4.9. Now I've placed my decimal point up above, and understanding I need 3 decimal places so that I can do my rounding, I went ahead and added 3 zeros onto the end of that number there. 49.000. Okay, and then we can start doing our division. 6 goes into 49 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. And then we do 49 minus 8 is 10. Or 1, bring down to 0, which would make it 10. Right, and then we can divide. 6 goes into 10 just 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. 10 minus 6 is 4, bring down to 0. And now we have 6 into 40, which can go 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. We subtract, and we have a 4 left over again. Bring down to 0, it's going to be a 40. So this is actually going to be repeating. So the next one, 6 goes into 40 6 times. I don't have to do any of the actual division. I just need to know what that place is, because now I can use it to round. Since the third place is a 5 or larger, we round up We get our answer 8.17. Because we had one negative involved in the problem, it'll be a negative 8.17.